The sky is blue, the grass green. It's a great day to be alive and a great day for high school soccer, and that's what we have for you here on ETV. Hello, everybody. My name is Nathan Cron. I'm solo tonight as Skip Newton is on assignment, but we've got some great high school girls soccer for you coming up here on ETV Sports. Live from Eagan High School, the campus of Eagan High School, Eagan, Minnesota. The Wildcats coming off a state run. Welcome another program that also came off a state run, the Saint Michael-Albertville Knights. There you see the Wildcats resplendent in their new green uniforms with white numbers. We'll give you lineups here as the girls take the field. The Saint Michael-Albertville Knights coming down I-94. I'm going to give the Wildcats all they can handle here today. Saint Michael-Albertville last year were, as I said, section champions out of their section, heading to state. Wildcats took third at state, tying East Ridge for third at state, and so both teams have good pedigrees, good players. Although both teams admittedly have graduated and did graduate a number of great players that we'll talk a little bit about maybe as the time rolls on through the day. We'll try to get these starting lineups. And again, for the Wildcats, if you're a Wildcat soccer fan and you've been watching these broadcasts for the last few years, you're going to see a lot of new faces out there as the Wildcats graduated 17 seniors last season. St. Michael-Albertville kicking off from the south end of Wildcat Stadium. There's a little bit of a effort being made to get the north goal on the right track there. You see goalie Maddie Weissel there for Eagan, working with assistant referee David Bland to get the pipes lined up right on the marks. Center referee Jay Moore holding his whistle until the assistant referee can get back into shape. You might be noticing on the field there is a strong wind moving from northwest to southeast. And that means that the Wildcats for the first half will have a substantial wind advantage. You see senior goalie Samantha Hartnett on the other end. She's got the sun at her back, but the wind in her face. And we'll see how that wind impacts the game watching the girls' JV game, which we'll mention and talk a little bit about a little bit later in this half. There were some substantial impacts from this wind. And a little bit of a technical glitch here as everyone's getting back into position. I'll give you the full STMA starting lineup. It's Hartnett in goal, Radloff, Quant, Brockop, Durham, Riesgraff, both Riesgraffs, Anya Riesgraff and Lily Riesgraff, Lewis, Gakin, and Gakin. So that's your starting 11 for the Knights. And for the Wildcats, Weissel, Westerman, Yin, Enning, Burke, Borean, Triplett, Hendrickson, Severson, Cameron, and Stokes. A couple of sophomores back on defense for the Wildcats. Player to keep an eye on for the Knights, number 6, Emma Quant. She is a state champion in the 400-meter and scored 27 last year for the Knights. Talking to her coach Prindle before the Prindle. Sorry, it's first game of the season for the announcing crew too. Talking to Coach Prindle before the game, it was very clear they're going to lean heavily on her for her leadership. As STMA puts that out into touch, and a deep throw opportunity here for the Wildcats. Sent back in and headed away. This comes back for Enning. Enning coming off an all-state campaign last time out. Expected to be one of the real leaders on this team as she pushes it back to Burke. Now on the far side. That ball gets played through quickly by Borean, but that's going to reach touch and go over for a goal kick. As we said, Quant, number 6 for the Knights, occupying the midfield, is going to be one of their big guns, and she's going to create major challenges. Actually, she's actually not playing in the midfield. She's actually on the far side. But she's going to create some major challenges for this Wildcat defense. A Wildcat defense that is young and relatively inexperienced from a varsity standpoint. So foul early in the game here against Saint Michael-Albertville.
On the kick, Evie Burke.
Evie Burke will take the free kick. Sends that in. Strong kick towards the back post, but it misses everybody and goes out for a goal kick.
Saint Michael-Albertville.
Well, thank you for watching wherever you are across the ETV network. Thanks so much, whether you're in Eagan or Saint Michael-Albertville, Aberdeen, South Dakota, or Knoxville, Tennessee. Thanks so much for joining us for some girls' high school soccer. Saint Michael-Albertville looking to go back to state for a fourth year in a row. Westerman battling there. Good shoulder challenge that time by Eagan. The ball comes to the outside, and it's played there by Lewis. Lewis in the corner sends it back in, and now STMA tries to work it out. Now a big switch of the field. Let's see if it comes off. Doesn't momentarily. Cats get a hold of it, and now they'll control. Lovely passing that time by the Cats. Again, brand new green uniforms with white numbers. That ball's played in. Let's see if the Cats are going to be able to get to it. And no, Jillian Cameron, despite her good speed, not able to get to that ball. Ball moving quickly on this turf. Opening minutes here of the game. The campaign for both teams, though, started earlier this week. The Knights had a 6-2 win against Elk River to start their season, and the Wildcats on Thursday night had a 1-1 draw against East Ridge. East Ridge, another team, as I mentioned earlier, East Ridge with a state tournament pedigree as well, having tied the Cats for third place last year at state. So to start the season, two programs with state tournament pedigrees for the Wildcats to battle through. Ball comes back and heads over towards the middle. And now it's sent forward. And a handball on Eagan.
Call called on the Knights. It's a handball violation. Free kick upcoming for the Wildcats.
So free kick opportunity. Evie Burke will stand over this right around the 25 football yard line. She's going to go to goal, and she scores! Evie Burke! A blast from 25 yards out. I have to confess, I wasn't sure that that ball was going to tuck itself in under the bar, but it was a well-placed kick. Credit to Hartnett, she did a good job of trying to get to that ball, but that ball had a lot of steam behind it. Not sure if the wind impacted it at all, but Evie Burke opens the scoring for the Wildcats here in the first 5 minutes. So a dream start for Evie Burke and the Wildcats as they hang an early goal on the Knights. No assist on Evie Burke's free kick goal, but that is something that, despite we saw Evie Burke last season play a lot in the midfield for the Wildcats, and there were a number of older, perhaps more experienced varsity players that would take free kicks. We didn't see too much of Evie Burke's big leg last season in situations like that, but wonder with a goal like that if Coach Qasim Ilmi might have Burke stand over a few more free kicks. Borean far side. That ball's going to be off Saint Michael-Albertville, and a corner, first corner of the game for the Wildcats. Wind is impacting the ability to take free kicks. Keeping that ball steady. This ball comes in low and flat. They were looking for Hendrickson, but instead it's taken by Saint Michael-Albertville that looked to break. Good play in the midfield. Cats come away with this one. Saint Michael-Albertville, the Knights closing down. There you have a look at Jillian Cameron, one of the sophomores, and playing right back in the 4-4-2 formation for the Wildcats. Looks like the Knights also have a 4-back. A foul throw that time by the Wildcats. Give Saint Michael-Albertville a chance to attack there from the midfield. Lewis with it, heaves it down. It's intercepted that time by the Wildcats, now played off of Reesgraff, and the Wildcats will have a throw as the teams try to reset. The attack for the Wildcats, triplet on the near side there. You see her almost get the ball. Battle for Enning, who has moved from her left back position into the midfield. Ball gets pitched ahead by that time by Burke, easily handled by Hartnett. Triplet up top, Westerman tucked in behind her, Borean on the far side. I think Westerman's actually playing the wing over here on this near side, but she's pushed over to the other side now because of the location of the play. A couple of throw-ins for the Knights on the far side. There's Westerman. Goes back to the defense, of course. It was Ellie Westerman who scored the game winner in the Section 3 finals in extra time against Rosemount last year to send these Wildcats to the state tournament. Beautiful assist from Kylie Weisendonner, who has graduated and moved on to bigger and better things. Nice step through that time by Burke. Falls for Borean far side. Borean battles. Good job that time by the Knights to take that away from her. Eagan had that one. Sent it forward looking for Otto. So I missed Cedar Otto coming onto the pitch. I must have made that change right around the time the goal was scored. So she's monitoring and taking the center forward position for the Knights. So one shot on net, and one goal for the Wildcats. No action for Maddie Weissel on the Eagan end as of yet, but we expect that to change at some point here in the game as Triplet gives chase. Knights go back to Hartnett. She switches the field, pressure on the far side. Nice move around Borean. That ball comes pitched over the top. Ball gets played into the middle. And offside is the call from the far side assistant referee. Cats were in a little bit of pressure there. Fortunately for the Cats, the Knights had strayed into an offside position. And a free kick coming up, being taken by Hendrickson. Pressure on the far side, this time by Triplet. Knights trying to push the ball forward. Congested in the midfield. And ball gets played to the outside. Is Cameron going to get on the end of this one? She does not. Ran out of real estate. Again, the second time that Cameron's legs have been tested. And that ball just a little too heavy. Ball comes in towards a handful of players. Burke finds Westerman. Westerman going to feed that forward. Here's an overlapping run. Borean to the outside. She's watched there on the outside. Excellent job taking that ball away. That was Quant that had come back from her outside mid position. Cats really finding success when they're able to string together just a handful of even shorter passes. Header by Otto up in the air, intercepted by Burke. Burke using her head. We saw that a lot last year. Burke doing a nice job of using her head, her height, and length to create opportunities, whether they were goals or assists or just controlling the ball out of the air. Knights now switching the field to the near side. Attempt at an overlapping run there by Lewis, gets broken up. Triplett comes away with it. She's got Cameron to the middle. Cameron through at least one defender, and it's played away, that time smartly by Reese Graff.
Over the end line off the Knights. Corner kick, Wildcats.
So a corner for the Wildcats, their second of the game, second of the first half.
For the Wildcats into the game is number 13, Paige Werner, playing off number 22, Chloe Stokes.
Werner coming on for Stokes for the Wildcats.
From the near side.
And Borean will take this one.
Is number 9, Fran Borean.
Borean with the right foot in swinger, comes towards the back post. Somebody got ahead to it, and it goes over, and a goal kick
Goes wide and out of bounds, goal kick.
for the Knights. But somebody on the back post, I could not see who got her head that high, but she did a nice job of elevating for that ball. Wind still whipping from the left of your screen to the right of your screen. Cats have that at their back. And that ball into touch. Triplett unable to work her magic on the line, and the Knights will have a throw-in. Here you see Lewis for the Knights as she heaves that forward, finds Gakin, but unfortunately off for Gakin, goes right off of her foot into touch. Anning dispossessed. Yin to the middle. Now Burke. She tries to switch the field. Borean on the far side. Taken away by STMA, and now they break. That's off Otto, and that will go out for a Wildcat throw. So after some initial excitement in the first 5 minutes of the game from the Evie Burke free kick, the game has settled down into a little bit of a choppy match between the two teams. Neither side really able to control the game, control the ball, and create real scoring opportunities. Not a lot of momentum for either side as Yin gives chase to this one. He's going to lose out to the taller player for the Knights. Triplett says, I'm going to try at that. Tries to get a hold of it. Westerman. Westerman lays off for Burke on an overlap. That was a nice play. Didn't come off, but it was a nice passing combination. Westerman really likes to use the outside of that foot. And Otto with a nice job there breaking up that attempt by Werner. So Werner did come in to replace Stokes at the back on the back line, paired up with Avery Hendrickson. So two new center backs, two new outside backs, all for the Wildcats. But here's a great pass from one outside back sliding up towards Borean. That was Severson outside. She skipped the midfield and went straight out to the wings. Ball comes in towards Triplett, broken up that time. I believe Ostley, if Ostley had did check in, she did. No, 19, not 15, so that's Reescraft, excuse me. Sometimes the players' ponytails get in the way of their numbers. This ball comes crossing to the middle. Cameron gave chase. But Radloff controls that ball. Good step that time by Enning. And a foul on Enning. Too much of the body, and the Knights will have a free kick at the 20-yard line.
I'll call on the Wildcats. Free kick, Saint Michael-Albertville.
Saint Michael-Albertville, again, expecting to be in the section final. That's their goal for this year. Go back to state. You know, ultimately, with the players they have, they expect to be very, very competitive. Wildcats, we'll see as this team and this season progresses. We'll see how this team plays, and we'll see where they end up. Of course, the last 5 Section 3-3A finals have been between the Wildcats and the Irish from Rosemount. And we'll see if that pattern holds form as a great first real attack for the Knights down around the other side, far side of the field. Good cross came in. This ball comes towards the middle. Radloff with it. She sends it across. It's going to be hard, and it's going to miss everybody going to touch. But the first foray into the attacking third for the Knights. And the Knights, from an eye test standpoint, certainly look big, fast, physical, and talented. Nice defense there by the Wildcats as they had to rally.
2 substitutions onto the field now for Saint Michael-Albertville. Pair number 25 is Schultz. Number 15, Olivia Osley. Going off will be Mara Krakoff, number 7.
Schultz and Osley checking in. And keep your eyes on number 6 for the Knights. There she is on the far side asking for the ball. Now she's got it at her feet. Good defense that time to the outside. Westerman comes away with it. Little ball trick there. Tries to feed it forward towards Triplett. Triplett does get the turn in. She pokes it forward. Cameron's going to break her neck to get there. What an effort for Cameron to close that down, but just too far to run as Lewis had tracked it. Good play that time by Westerman. Wrong-footed Yin. Ball comes up and towards the middle. Osley has an opportunity. She's going to feed that forward, but it's broken up that time by the Wildcats, and here comes Westerman the other way. Again, neither team able to really set up shop in the attacking third. Reaching almost the halfway point here of the first half. Score is 1-0 in favor of the Wildcats from an Evie Burke free kick in the 5th minute. And that has been our only shot on goal, our only shot on goal, and our only goal. I think it's fair to go out on a limb here and say that will not be the only shot on goal for the game, nor will it be the only goal for this game. There is simply too much quality on this field for this game to be as scoreless as it is. There's a good ball as the Wildcats got turned around. Good recovery that time by Hendrickson. And good defense by Hendrickson.
Wildcats.
On the recovery as Werner had a little trouble with Osley, but Hendrickson was able to pick up her teammate, and that's what good center backs do, and it's good to see good coordination between the center backs, as I mentioned earlier, with all new players on the back line. Communication is one of the keys, one of the challenges in every situation, but when you've got new players, and at this level, as I think anybody will tell you who has played at the varsity level, and of course these two teams are excellent varsity teams, the speed of the game, the physical play of the game, all of it together is something that you'd really have to experience. And that's ball's fed forward towards Triplett. Nicely done. Triplett has it at her feet. Lays off that time for Enning. Enning pitches that up and over the top, looking for Westerman. Gaken behind. Almost had her pocket picked by Westerman. That ball gets pitched through by Enning. Enning's going to keep that in. Enning thought she had kept that in. The fans obviously thought she did too, but the assistant referee Jason Tarkanian had a better view than all of us and said, no, that ball crossed into touch. So good turn there by Triplett. Westerman using her hips well, her body well. There's a shot, second shot of the game. Again, that's Burke. That's a shot on goal. And Hartnett confidently claimed that one. Hartnett's punt getting eaten up by the wind high in the air. So we've got some substitutions coming in.
Substitutions for the Wildcats.
For the Wildcats.
In the game, number 18,
Tegan Tesdall checking in. McKenna Willie checking in, and Sammy Wood checking in.
Number 4, Ariella Yin. Number 11, Stella Triplett. And number 16, Jillian Cameron.
Cameron, Yin, and Triplett all checking out. Yeah, shoulder-to-shoulder challenge that was just a little too heavy. So another opportunity here. Third foul of the half against the Knights. No fouls so far against the Wildcats. Commentators curse, probably just jinxed them, but in any event, it's a free kick from about 20 yards out and wide. Burke puts a foot to this, and this is going to sail over everything and hit the catch fence. So the first shot by either team that wasn't on target. Knights playing quickly off the goal kick. Intercepted opportunity here for the Wildcats. And that time, Eagan cleaned out Westerman. Westerman, a tough player despite her relative diminutive size out there. She is the state runner-up in her weight class for wrestling, girls wrestling. So very physical, aggressive, loves to make quick turns and take on defenders. And this is Enning with a free kick. So Burke has a couple of times gone to goal. Let's see if Enning floats this in.
Free kick Wildcats.
She does go to goal, and Hartnett claims that confidently. It was a shot on goal, but Hartnett not troubled by that one. Quickly she puts it back into play, and it comes down this time for the Knights, taken away briefly now by Enning. Enning gets to it, sends that over for Werner. And on the far side, that's Severson who's dispossessed. Ostley slips down. And that ball will be cleared up towards the midline, and a substitution opportunity for the Knights. Check that, number 4, Shannon Corona, not able to come in yet. We're going to have to wait for a Knight throw-in or a goal kick. Now the Knights switching the field. This comes to the near side for for Lewis. Lewis tries to send it forward. Wood with it. Sends a heave up towards Willie. Willie will give chase. It's poked out by Hartnett. Let's see if somebody in white can control it. They do. Wood, again, talking about a smaller player. Wood, Sammy Wood, fast, quick, but again, smaller, has to use her size and be crafty. A little in and out opportunity there between. Now that's early season communication as that ball came in.
Substitution for the Knights. Back into the game now is Shannon Corona, number 4.
By Borien into Westerman. Westerman played it quickly right out to Borien had she been making a run, and both players looking at each other with their hands on their hips like, oh, I thought you were doing something different. In any event, we play on. A bit of a misplay there by Hartnett. It's knocked down. The goalie is out of her box. But the Knights rally, smartly done. And now they'll press up the far side. Good defense that time by Werner. Check it, that's Hendrickson. Quant puts this into play. Osley dispossessed. Eagan has the ball at her feet, switches to the other side. Borjan's going to get on the other end of this one. She's pressured out there by Corona. Oh, miscue there by the Wildcats. Opportunity here for the Knights, and a great block that time by Hendrickson. Had to get that right.
By the Wildcats defense, Savory Hendrickson making the play.
This ball comes in towards the middle of the pitch. Taken there by Enning. Enning goes outside. It's intercepted that time by the Knights, but right back to the girls in green. Knights with some good defense, really forcing the Wildcats back. And now they get control of it in the midfield. Eagan has it, can't find someone. Now she gets it back, now she feeds it forward. That was Lewis feeding it forward. Good defense there by Enning, preventing Eagan from trying to go positive with that. Coming up on 11 minutes to go here in the first half as Westerman comes away with this one. Lays this ball out for Sammy Wood. Sammy Wood, there she's flashing the speed. So Wood to the outside and a substitution for the Wildcats. Cameron's going to check in. Borjan will check out. Looks like Wood will take Borjan's place on the far side at the wing, and Cameron will play the outside back position on this side. Ball comes in towards Westerman, but hops over everyone, and now Eagan in the middle. Her pass intercepted by the aforementioned Sammy Wood. Sammy Wood in for Westerman. And unable to do much with that as she had multiple defenders on top of her. That ball gets floated across looking for Cameron, but it's intercepted that time smartly by the Knights, and now the Knights will attack going the other way. It's Quant. She's one of the fastest players on the pitch, and she's got a heck of a shot. This ball is going to be blocked. Quant did not get on that, what she really wanted, but in any event, it was blocked by a Wildcat defender. Let's see if the Wildcats are patient. Cameron pitches that forward, now follows up as Eagan shields her off. And the ball gets switched to the middle with Radloff. Hendrickson with the defense there. Werner. Weissel. First real touch of the game. Comes floating all the way to the front. Good combination passing there as Wood will attack to the outside. And the defense equal to the challenge, pushing Wood into touch.
Substitution for Saint Michael-Albertville. Returning is number 18, Anya Riesgraff.
Anya Riesgraff checking in. Quant having a seat to get a bit of a rest. We'll see Emma Quant dramatic in a substantial role here in the second half. Cameron intercepts that ball. It'll be interesting to see what the Wildcats do with respect to their offensive plan. Last year's team had some very fast track star type players on the outside wings. Has a great battle in the midfield that time. Just happens to be won that time by the Wildcats. That ball gets switched to the middle, and here's a turnover, an opportunity. And this is going to be picked up by Weissel. Smart for Maddie Weissel to come off her line quickly on that one. Her second year on varsity, Maddie Weissel played every game last year for the Wildcats. Got a lot of valuable experience, and you would expect her to be calm, cool, and collected back there on the back line for the Wildcats. Some one-touch passing, but it's intercepted that time by Radloff, although it does go off of her foot. An opportunity for the Wildcats. Battle there in the corner. And the Knights come out with it. Big attempt at a big clearance there. But it's claimed that time by the Wildcats in the midfield. Burke is back on the field. Collision for two players, but a good tackle. Westerman doing a nice job that time of controlling the ball and wisely pulling that out. So Tesdall and Severson are your outside back. Look to be your outside backs, with Hendrickson and Werner in the middle.
And number 15, Emerson Statman. They are in the game, going out number 18, Tegan Tesdall, and number 3.
So more substitutions, Statman and Valaga for the Wildcats. Gaken, we've called her name so much, claiming that ball and sending it across. Now the Knights look to break. They've got some numbers. They've got some momentum. And now they're going to be in the attacking third. Ball gets pitched up and over the top. Opportunity here. Good job that time by Weissel, smartly off her line. They had to get the challenge right. That was Severson on the near side with a good challenge. There was physical contact, but certainly not a foul. But Weissel decisively off her line. Otherwise, the Wildcats could have been in some trouble there. Ball gets sent to the outside. Let's see what the Knights can do with it. Ball gets played forward for Cameron on the overlap. Nicely done. Jillian Cameron, the sophomore, down the outside channel on the right side. Starts, goes again. Now she's got it on her right foot, and she's going to earn the corner. Good defense that time by the Knights. It was Riesgraff with the defense. And standing over this one is McKenna Willie. She'll try her right foot and see if she can get an outswinger. Ball comes in towards the middle. One header away. This is going to find Burke on the back line. Burke can't bring the ball with her. She keeps the ball in momentarily. And it looks like it actually did go into touch on the far side. So the third corner of the game goes begging.
Substitution for STMA. Back in is Emma Quant, number 6. Going off is Shannon Corona, number 4.
Corona stepping off for Quant. Quant now moving into the center forward position for STMA. She's right around the center circle. We'll see if Quant has an opportunity to stretch those legs a little bit against a relatively inexperienced Wildcat defense. Speaking of that defense, here's an opportunity for Hendrickson. Hendrickson feeds that forward, looking for Burke, but there's no one there. An example of a communication challenge here for the Wildcats, needing to sort a few of those things out. Weissel pops that up in the air. And it's claimed that time by the Knights. Knights with a little bit of momentum here. Let's see what they're able to do. This ball gets played down the outside channel. This is Riesgraff outside. Sends it in with her left foot. Weissel, good cross that time. Not a shot as it wasn't heading into the goal by itself, but Good effort that time on the outside by Anya Riesgraff. Hartnett quickly off of her line, sends that out towards the middle. And a foul there in the midfield. So that's five fouls against the Knights. 0 fouls so far against the Wildcats. Can't argue too much with the way that center referee has called this game. Haven't seen a lot of questionable ticky-tack fouls. Most of the fouls have been pretty clear and pretty clean, obvious. But as we tick down towards halftime, the Knights will be looking to try to find an equalizer. Hendrickson will take the free kick from the midfield. She's got a whole host of Wildcats down near the 18-yard box. This ball finds its way into the middle. It's played away smartly. That's well done. Sends out for Quant. Quant watched there by the defense. Quant around a couple of defenders. Not able to get her pass through the third defender, and now she switches the field. Near side, that's Lewis. Lewis's ball comes through. Knights fans looking for a foul there. Referee not having any of it that time. But at some point, the foul disparity will become noticeable on the field. I expect that the Wildcats will be probably whistled for a foul here or there. Ball to the outside. Wildcats will control there. Pass intercepted by the Knights, but comes back for the Wildcats. Wildcats have got to be very careful here. Good flick on that time towards Willie. Willie will give chase. Hartnett well off of her line. She pops it high in the air. She's well out of her net. If the Wildcats could get that ball and send it down deep, Hartnett might have a challenge, getting back in. This ball gets played down the outside channel, and it's going to find touch. That's a great run that time by Radloff, but it comes to nothing as Riesgraff's ball found its way over the sideline. Warner will be replaced on the back line by Stokes into the last minute. Halftime will have a number of messages, some opportunities for you to check out what's going on in the city of Eagan and around the area. And we'll be back with the second half. But Emma Quant says not yet. And she shoots that one. Does constitute the first shot, not on goal, but the shot for the Saint Michael-Albertville Knights. Their first shot coming within the last minute of the first half. Definitely not what the Knights would have wanted to see. Perfect for the Wildcats. I told you that was going to, they'd get their first shot at the end of the first half. If you're a Wildcat fan, you'd say, absolutely, we'll take that. Clock ticks down into the last 10 seconds, and we'll get a countdown from public address announcer Dave Giles. Wildcats will battle there in the middle. And that is the end of the first half. A first half that saw some early fireworks followed by a lot of play in the middle of the field. Neither team really attacking in the attacking third, creating opportunities on a consistent basis. Saint Michael-Albertville will head back to their bench and talk about a new plan for next half. Wildcats there on your screen. We'll be happy with Evie Burke's 5th-minute free kick goal. So a 1-0 lead so far for the Wildcats here. We'll step aside for halftime. We'll be back for the second half in approximately 10 minutes. Halftime in Eagan, Wildcats 1, Knights 0. You are watching ETV.
Corner kicks, 0 for the Knights and 3 for the Wildcats. One offside call in the first.
Going from a 12 to 1,500 square foot Rambler house to 10,000 square feet here in the new art house. I am excited to just see people in this space.
We have a really wide variety of programs and classes here. We're very excited to be able to offer much more than we could before, which we're able to do now that the space is much larger and able to host more people.
I'm most excited to have a space for everybody in the community, whether a budding artist or an artist who has taken classes before and learning to hone their skills. This really just is a spot where we want the community to come, feel welcomed, and enjoy an art experience while they're here.
It only serves to make the community stronger to have these creative spaces, especially very dedicated ones like this. And I'm very excited to see more of the community come in and engage with this space and each other here.
Jason, let's go see your room.
That's not right. How is it? Is it good?
We were inspired to build a new indoor playground because the old one was getting over 20 years old and we just needed a new place for the community and families to be able to bring their kiddos. The new space is actually a multi-level space. It's taller than the last one was, and it's very big, has open areas inside the playground itself. So if a parent needed to go up there, it's suitable for that. And it's soft and cozy and bright inside. We do offer a special right now for the month of August and September. We're doing $5 Fridays, and that includes use of our gymnasium as well. Spaces such as the Blast Indoor Playground really do serve our community. It's a great meeting spot to be able to have an indoor safe place to get together and play.
Been a treat to see the interest in girls flag. It's the first year, you know, it's exciting that we had so much ask from the girls to, hey, can I come play? Absolutely. We have about 45 girls on our roster right now.
I found out about the league from my coach, Carl. He was our weightlifting coach, so he kind of inspired me as well to come out and play.
In the league, we have over 51 teams. They started last year with the pilot program with 4, now it's 51. So it kind of boomed over a year.
They actually made the schedule around other sports. I know a lot of people, they do softball or track, so getting to play sport with them means a lot to me.
Scheduling was a struggle. We're a club sport technically, so we practice at 7 o'clock at night so girls can go compete in their other sports.
A lot of the successes as a team is just higher game IQ. So some girls came in not knowing anything about football, and now they have plays memorized.
Going into today's game, I felt nervous because I knew some of my friends and my family members were coming. Then I just got on the field and tried to do my best.
The NFL's involvement with the league has been so great. Minnesota Vikings, it wouldn't have ever gotten started without them. They run all the behind the scene things.
I just want to thank my teammates for having a fun day. I know it wasn't super successful, but we're working hard.
I'm proud of how far we came from last game to this game at home. Even though we lost, I think overall as a team we played better.
Being a part of something brand new is tough, but I think the girls are getting a lot of teamwork and a lot of different skills that they can utilize in their other sports too.
Hi, I'm Ryan Blaney, a third-generation race car driver, and we dedicate a lot of our time to going as fast as possible. But when my grandpa was diagnosed with Alzheimer's, it was a very unexpected bump in the road for us. It's important to notice if older family members are acting differently, experiencing problems with their memory, or having trouble with routine tasks. Early detection of Alzheimer's can give your family time to explore support services, make a plan for the future, and access available treatments. If you or your family are noticing changes, it could be Alzheimer's. Talk about seeing a doctor together.
I'm Mike McGuire. I'm an Eagan homeowner, and I also happen to be the mayor. We are installing a new roof today, and we decided to go with solar shingles to generate some solar energy for the house and offset some of our electricity costs.
Solar shingles are a photovoltaic technology that generate electricity. They function much like any rooftop solar panel that you may be familiar with. So they're super cool in that they generate electricity and they protect a home from the weather. So it's an awesome new technology that's available that offers a little bit more of an aesthetic appeal to homeowners that might not want a bulky solar panel on their roof.
So this is the Timberline solar shingle. This is the part of the shingle that gets nailed onto your roof. Just like a normal shingle would be attached, there's a nailing strip here and there's a sealant strip on the bottom of it. And then this part of the shingle produces electricity from solar. The nice thing with this is it decreases the amount of laborers that you have to have on your property when you're looking at getting a roof and solar at the same time. The roofing crew does the shingles and the roofing crew does the install of the solar shingles.
My understanding from our contractor is when they went into the city to get the permits, it was the first solar shingle installation that Eagan has seen. So we put the inspections department through their paces and got all the permits done. So we're here at the exciting conclusion installing our new solar shingled roof today.
Having solar shingles in Eagan is super exciting. This marks a really awesome milestone in our local climate work in the city, and it shows that our community and homeowners here are excited about renewable energy technology.
Emma, did you hear?
Todd's in the hospital.
Who's Todd? He got a collapsed lung from vaping. He thought it was cool.
Not cool.
Promise you won't vape, Emma. It can lead to a lifelong addiction, and we can't be friends if your lungs collapse.
Bogus.
Wacky sitcom teens aren't the best people to talk to your kid about vaping.
Hey, you got a minute?
You are. Start the conversation with your child about vaping today.
Welcome back for the second half of this non-conference tilt between the Eagan Wildcats and the Saint Michael-Albertville Knights. The cloud cover has rolled in, and it's gotten a little bit chillier here in Eagan, Minnesota, but nothing chillier than the offensive prospects right now so far in the game for the Knights. They're going to be turning that around here, doing their best to turn that around here against the Wildcats here in the second half. Only one shot not on goal for the Knights in the first half. Definitely not what they were looking for. On the flip side of that, a dream start for the Wildcats as they got a fifth-minute goal from Evie Burke off of a free kick to give them a 1-0 lead here at the half. Both teams coming up for this second half. They will also be in action coming up after today. Knights will have their first conference game on the 26th. That is Tuesday, this coming Tuesday, at Maple Grove. Game time there is 5 o'clock p.m. And the Wildcats will be taking on Spring Lake Park in another non-conference game on Monday. That's right, Monday night, this coming Monday at 7 p.m. And that will be here on ETV. You see the corner flag as the Wildcats sit and finish up their discussions. Knights have already broken camp and are heading back to their bench, so we'll be underway here shortly on ETV. Wind still whipping from the left side of your screen to the right, but now the Knights will have the wind at their backs. Sun has gone away. Heavy to moderate cloud cover has rolled in. So no sun in anyone's eyes at this point. Referees exchanging a last handshake at halftime. Now we'll move into position. Going into this game, we certainly expected Emma Quant to have a big role in the offense, but in the first 30 or so minutes of the game, in the first half, she was really not able to get on track. In the last handful of minutes of the first half, she was able to flash quality and create some challenges for this young and inexperienced Wildcat defense. You have to think that she'll be heavily featured here, getting the ball to her feet and letting her create for the Knights. Last year, scoring 27 goals for the Knights. And you can see there at the top of your screen, Coach Pat Prindle having a conversation with her. Knights will be moving from left to right on your screen. Knights with their white socks, white shorts, white tops with dark numbers. Wildcats there on the far extreme left of your screen, still in their all greens. Have not taken the field yet. And from an eye test standpoint, it looks like the Knights really starting the second half with the same lineup they had in the first half. And here come the Wildcats. Noticeable size difference. You'll see that from time to time. Noticeable size difference for this. The Knights seem to be a little bit taller, maybe a little more physically strong than some of these Wildcats. Wildcats are going to have to use their low center of gravity as Ellie Westerman steps to the center circle. Westerman, the wrestler, state runner-up in her weight class, as I mentioned earlier. A few last stretches, and she'll be kicking us off. Wildcats rolling to the north from right to left on your screen. Enning in the midfield, pitches that forward. It hops up and over everyone. Wood battles there against the larger defender for the Knights. Yin unable to come up with that one. Big step that time by Enning. Wood battling on the far side. Nice job that time by Quant. Quant comes away with it. She's attacking down the far side. You can see she is fast. Pass intercepted near side. Ball comes back for Cameron. It's punched forward that time by Hendrickson. Eagan pinned up against the sideline, finds presumably her sister, the other Gaken. This ball gets switched to the far side. This is Westerman looking for Wood. But Quant able to break that offensive rush up. And now the girls in white attack the other way. I want to remind you that high school boys soccer action will be coming your way about 20 minutes after the conclusion of this game. It'll be the Saint Michael-Albertville boys and the Eagan Wildcats. Or should I say the state champion Eagan Wildcats. That's right, the Eagan Wildcats on the boys' side. Last year's state AAA champions. Hendrickson lays that off. This is misplayed by the Wildcats, and Weissel quickly off of her line. Wildcat coach Qasim Ilmi with his arms in the air like, kind of what are we doing there? Fortunately, Weissel saves the blushes of the defense despite the odd turnover. Wood sends this in for Westerman on the far side. Good job by the Knights switching the field, breaking that pressure. Yin with a little pressure here. Here's an opportunity. Borean feeds that forward for Westerman. Westerman with an opportunity. She's going to put her left foot onto it. And a good save. That was a good save by Hartnett. First shot of the second half. Good save by Hartnett. As the momentum was carrying her one way, Westerman used her left foot to push that to Hartnett's left. So she had to stretch against her momentum. This is a great layoff by Westerman. Here's an opportunity for Borean. Borean to the outside. Crosses with the left foot. Looks for Wood on the back door, and Sammy Wood, despite the speed, just unable to get on the other end of it. Franny Borean might have been advised to maybe shoot that ball, but crossing to a streaking Sammy Wood, not necessarily a bad plan either. Good physical play there, but a foul, the first foul of the game against the Wildcats. Free kick, Saint Michael-Albertville. Ball comes up towards Wood and Quant. And a push. Not sure who that's going to be called on necessarily, but it is against somebody in white. So a free kick for the Wildcats right around that midfield mark. Burke with it will send it in towards the edge of the 18. It's flicked on that time by Westerman. And Borean on the back edge sends it through, and it's deflected, and the Wildcats will have their first corner of the second half. I actually thought that came off a Wildcat player. I'm surprised to see the corner, but assistant referee and center referee made the call very quickly. No question in their minds what had happened. Borean, far side. Captain puts her left foot into that, floats down towards the penalty spot, opportunity for Burke, and Burke skies it just over the top. Burke did a nice job of getting to that ball, just could not get down on it. Get her hips over that ball to keep it down, and it popped up and over for a goal kick. Good attempt at a tackle there by Borean, but it's broken up that time by STMA. Westerman giving chase. Eagan tries to switch that to the far side. Does. Here's Quant. Watched by Wood. Wood sends it forward for Yin. Yin's going to be dispossessed on the far side. But Wood doing a nice job with Quant. Quant very fast, very strong, physical, gifted. But so far, Wood able to be just annoying enough to not let Emma Quant be able to open up her toolbox to get to work. And here's a ball coming up over the top. This will find Weissel comfortably on the back line. So Maddie Weissel still has not had a save in the game because there have not been any shots for the Knights on frame. Battle in the midfield this time. So a push there against Lewis, and a foul, second foul of the second half. This ball gets sent forward. Is Wood going to be able to get on the end of it? Not yet. It's popped around. Now it finds for Enning. Enning, far side, Hendrickson. Hendrickson. Burke is actually playing, Evie Burke has actually moved from the midfield, is playing center back. Ball gets pitched over for Hendrickson. Hendrickson finds Westerman. Westerman sent forward. Enning tries to use her shoulder, but doesn't quite come off. This ball gets sent back. Hendrickson with the long reach, gets the head to it. And that's going to be a STMA throw here right in front of the benches, right in front of moms and dads. Again, thank you for joining us here on ETV. Eagan sends that back, looking for one of her teammates, but it's intercepted that time by Enning. Enning runs out of real estate on the near side and will trot back to her midfield position. Enning, the All-State player last year from a right back position, but has moved to a midfield position, presumably to give her more touches and keep her active in the game. Wood racing for this ball, almost gets it. I think she's going to actually win the throw, and she does. Good hustle by Sammy Wood, the sophomore on the far side. This comes in for Westerman. Westerman crosses, opportunity for Yin. Yin takes it off her shin, but Hartnett quickly off of her line. Yin really needed to keep control of that ball. That first touch let her down. It was a good cross by Westerman. Yin just not able to keep it down and give herself an opportunity. Bit of a miss punt that time by Hartnett, but it finds her teammate, Riesgraff. Now the ball switching to the midfield. Gakin with it will bring it up. Watched by Yin. Now Gakin back to the near side looking for Riesgraff. Defense that time by Cameron. Burke, left foot, pitches that out. Good job that time by Borjan. And Riesgraff battling for that one. And Quant has moved to a center attacking forward position. I said I'd be very surprised if there weren't more goals scored in this game. I still stand by that prediction and that statement, but both teams doing a good job of breaking up the other side's offensive pressure or offensive flow, either with tight defense, timely tackles, or hard work, just plain hard work. As you see Yin pressuring the back line of the Knights. Here's a step by Borjan. Borjan finds Enning. Enning switches to the far side, but put it behind one of her teammates. Battle in the middle. And now it's switched to the near side. Enning selling out on that one. Nicely done by Anna Enning. Borjan, excuse me, I should say Enning nutmegged. Collision there between a couple of Knights players. Burke steps to the outside. Captain Evie Burke, nicely done. Uses the outside of her foot. Now this ball comes back for Weissel. And finally a clearance that time by Hendrickson. Only score we have from the lower levels of girls soccer is the JV score. The Wildcat girls coming back in impressive fashion, conceding an early goal in the second half and then coming back to win 2-1 over Saint Michael-Albertville. With Hazel Morris, a left-footed strike to hit the game winner. Foul against Saint Michael-Albertville. The Knights fans upset about that one. I think they missed the early foul and were upset about it, what would have been a foul momentarily just after that. Burke under quick pressure. Opportunity here, nice step move to the outside by the Wildcats on the far side. And that's Severson. Severson battling there. Are we going to get a foul? We're not going to get a foul. Everyone's going to keep playing on. Opportunity for the Knights. And now it finds Quant. Quant battling head-to-head against Enning. That is a great battle. We hope we see more of here in this game. Severson battling there. Plays it negative back for Burke. Burke says enough of this and punches it forward looking for Westerman. Now the Knights are going to try to switch the field. Opportunity here is Enning misses that one, and it's fed through. Nicely done. Quant's going to give chase, but Weissel quickly off of her line. Smartly done. Impressive to see the Maddie Weissel development. She has been confident and cool and collected and decisive in this match. And if that is how she's going to play all season for these Wildcats, that's really going to give their defense a real boost. When you've got new defenders, having a goalie who's seen it before and is decisive and collected and confident is going to be a big benefit. That ball gets punched over the top, finds Burke's head. Severson with the defense on the far side. And a throw for the Knights right in front of their bench. Step by Severson. This ball finds its way over the top. And do we have a foul? I don't know if we have a foul or a throw. I think we have a foul against the Knights. They're fourth of this half. Fourth of the half and ninth of the game. Wood battling there on the far side against Radloff. Radloff finds one of her teammates and goes negative. Yin giving chase and wins the throw in that time. Nice job by Yin for the Wildcats. Aurelia Yin, obviously the younger sister of one of the Wildcat seniors from last season. Angelina Lyria Yin. Westerman giving chase. Borean. Nice defense that time by Borean. That ball's going to stay in. She's going to have an opportunity. Attacks the end line. Good defense there, rallying by the Knights. Borean plays a negative for Enning. Enning now into the middle. Opportunity. She gets off her right foot, and it's in! Anna Enning shoots. She had it on her left foot, got it to her right foot, and put it off the post. And the Wildcats extend their lead here in the 60th minute. Check it, 65th minute. So Anna Enning opens her account here at home against the Knights. A 2-0 lead, opportunity here for the Wildcats to really put pressure on these Knights. And the Knights are not done and are certainly not going to go away here down 2 goals. But desperation will start to creep in a little bit for the girls in white. Borean did a nice job of breaking that ball up, moving it to the middle. Got it to Enning, and Enning had it on her left foot, then went to her right foot and fired. Hartnett had most of the net covered, and the ball had to hit the inside of the post and find its way in for a 2-0 lead for the Wildcats. So now the Wildcats have an opportunity as Yin picks up the foul there. Opportunity now for the Knights as they'll have a chance, as that was Gaken who was fouled by Yin. So Radloff, I believe that's Radloff, will take this for the, Radloff will take this for the Knights. She'll play it short. Ball goes to the far side. Good step that time by Wood. And that ball over the top towards Weissel. Weissel claims that one. Weissel puts that punt into motion, looks for her teammates. Westerman got run. And I don't know if there was a whole lot of a foul there, but in any event, center referee Jay Moore says there's a foul, so we have a foul. So free kick for the Wildcats. 10th foul of the game against the Knights. Only a handful of fouls, 2 fouls by my count against the Wildcats. Hendrickson's going to put this one in play. Look for a couple of players. The Knights doing a nice job of getting to that ball. Good pressure that time by the Wildcats. Number 13, Paige Werner, who looks like she's playing in a midfield role. So it looks like she and Burke have switched effectively. Borean, Fran Borean to the outside, lays that off down into the channel for Westerman. And Westerman unable to come up with that one. That one's going to roll out for a goal kick. And Stella Triplett, number 11, checking in for the Wildcats, with Yin checking out. So Triplett, one of the bigger, taller, stronger players perhaps on this Wildcat team. A senior forward providing some size and strength to maybe push around those Knight defenders. They are quality. Collision there between Enning and Quant. Ball comes towards Severson. Severson is going to get dispossessed on the outside, and the ball goes into touch. And Severson wins that throw. That's a situation where the Wildcats' young defense is under pressure, and that may or may not be where Coach Qasim Ilmi wants them to be, because this Knights team has shown a propensity this season to score. Remember, they hung 6 on Elk River just this week. Ball comes towards the middle. It's played away that time. Here's Borian. This ball comes to the outside. Ball gets pitched forward. Eagan got a nice header to it, but then couldn't quite control it. This finds Westerman. Westerman, Borian. This ball to the outside. Good defense that time. Here's Quant. Quant with Burke on defense. And a corner, the first corner, an opportunity for Saint Michael-Albertville. This is their first corner of the game. Coming here in the 60th minute. So a big scoring opportunity here for the Knights. Let's see who's going to stand over it. Brockop is going to take it. Right foot, out swinger. Played away by Hendrickson. Towards Borian. Wildcats trying to keep Quant from getting a shot off, and they do so far. It's pitched out. Danger still not averted for the Wildcats as the Knights maintain possession. Played away that time by the midfield presence of Anna Enning. Now the Wildcats control in the midfield. Finds Enning. Enning pitches that forward. Looked for Wood far side. Wood chops it down, goes for Triplett. Now Wood will battle again, taking the long way around. Here's an opportunity to the outside. This is Cameron. Cameron inside now towards Borian. And that's broken up by the Knights, but it finds Enning. Enning wrong foots one of her teammates, but this time it comes in for Triplett. Triplett has it on her foot. Shoots with the right foot, but it goes wide. As the longer the ball stays on the other end, the happier the girls in green are going to be. Have to think the Knights are going to have a response, and if they have a response, they're going to have to do it soon.
Prior to the goal kick, 3 substitutions for the Wildcats. Back in Emerson Statman, number 15, number 22, Chloe Stokes back in.
Stokes, Statman, and Willie all checking in for the Wildcats before the goal kick. This ball gets played down the outside channel. I think Triplett's going to get on the end of this one. She sends it in towards one of her teammates, towards Willie. Willie got a foot to it and steered it towards the general direction of goal. Nice play by Triplett. Nice play by Willie. Just slid wide, but nice opportunity there as Yelly takes the place of Brockop for the Knights. Knights playing that forward. Nicely done that time by the Knights, but good rally defense that time by Wood. Wood sticking her body in. Nicely done. Keeps it away from Quant, and that ball will find its way into touch for a throw for the Knights. Quant with the throw in for Radloff. It's intercepted and punched back out into touch, that time by the Cats. Burke battling there. You can hear Coach Qasim Ilmi talking about not giving up shots. I do not want to let the Knights have clean and easy shots on Maddie Weissel. And so far, the Wildcats, to their credit, have done an excellent job. Of preventing clean and easy shots against Weissel. Everything has been contested. And Stokes finds Westerman. Westerman back towards Cameron. Cameron battling there. Good play by Reese Graff, sends that across. Gakin had a touch to it. Now it comes back for STMA and now goes hard to the outside. Wood with the defense on the outside. And the ball finds its way into touch for a Wildcat throw. Wildcats will take a little air out of this one. Smartly done that time by Severson. But some extended time in the Wildcats' half of the field for the Knights. And Severson says enough of that and punches it up towards Triplett. Triplett's going to run around one defender but can't get by the second. Nice job by Wood chasing that one. You can see fatigue taking its toll on both teams. One of the challenges with an up and down game like this is that both teams, especially early in this season, it's going to test their endurance, test their conditioning. Westerman's ball gets punched forward, but Hartnett quickly off of her line. But the Knights need to dial up some magic here to try to get some offensive momentum. At least by my count, they still do not have a shot on goal. Maybe something happening here as that ball finds its way into touch with Ostley giving chase to the near side. I'm going to take a quick opportunity to thank our award-winning ETV crew, Director Tim Shinyan. Cameras are Seth Tesdall and Jared Greenberg. Thanks so much for making us look and sound so good here on ETV and being a community asset. Throw comes in. Some more choppy play in the midfield as Westerman gets that ball, finds Burke. Now finds Stokes. Stokes pitches that forward. That's intercepted by Radloff. Gakin, who we've called her name so much. She's had the ball in her feet a lot for the Knights and has been a key in distributing it. Cameron's pass intercepted. Knights will attack the other way. Wood intercepts that pass. Wood feeds that forward, and we have a foul against STMA as Sammy Wood gets dumped to the pitch.
This is on the play, foul on the Knights. Free kick coming for the Wildcats.
Wildcats at this point, I should mention, the Wildcats have got some injuries. One of their key players, Tess Triplett, out for a few weeks. Other big injury is Sophie Sutherland. Both players have been battling injuries. Both players unable to play here today. This ball finds its way down towards the Wildcats, and now to the outside. Quant giving chase and shrugs off the defense. Nicely done. Emma Quant puts it on her right foot, says, I'm going to take this team on my shoulders and see what I can do. Goes around Cameron, beats the sophomore, draws to the outside. Cameron, good job fronting her up. Opportunity here for the Knights A battle in the middle. Nobody wants to make a shot. And we have a foul.
Center referee stops the clock.
And a penalty. A penalty against the Wildcats. I could not quite tell what was. It was a massive confusion in there. And a penalty for the Wildcats, for the Knights.
Wildcats in the penalty area. This is going to be a penalty kick for Saint Michael-Albertville.
The clock is stopped with 12:17 to go.
Taking the penalty kick is Emma Quant, number 6.
So Quant will take this penalty kick against Weissel in the 68th minute. And she scores. So a foul against, and forgive me, I could not tell. There was a lot of confusion, lots of bodies falling down there. But Emma Quant cashes in for the Knights, and now it is a 2-1 game. And things get a little more tense for everybody on the pitch. In fact, we saw a number of players go down, both in green and white, and it wasn't clear exactly who was calling where he was calling a foul. The first indication that center referee had called for a penalty was the fact that he stopped the clock.
Scoring for the Saint Michael-Albertville Knights on the penalty kick, number 6, Emma Quant.
The Cats right now need to step quickly to that ball. And the Knights, with some renewed confidence, their first shot on goal coming in the 68th minute. And it's a goal for Emma Quant. Eagan loses her footing on that one, and that ball goes into touch, as Wood will leave that for Severson. So we thought we'd see some more goals. We've seen one from the Knights, 2 from the Wildcats. Here's an opportunity. Good run by, I think that's Borean on the outside. Check it, that's Willie on the far side. So McKenna Willie with a nice move to the outside earns the corner. So the corner kick for the Wildcats, their 5th of the game, 2nd of the second half. Wildcats would dearly love to extend that lead back to 2 goals as we tick down towards the 70th minute of this match. This ball comes in flat. It's played away that time by Radloff. Radloff stretching those legs out. She'll send it forward for Quant. Quant watched there by Stokes, and that ball gets punched forward. This ball is going to run down towards Burke. I'm not sure Burke knows she's by herself. And the Knights, with some renewed enthusiasm, some renewed energy, now closing that deficit from 2-1. And you could see it on display there as they were giving hard chase after that ball. Outside, this is Wood. Wood forces the throw as Lewis has to put that into touch. Comes in for Triplett. Triplett gets it down to her feet, feeds it forward, but Lewis has that and is going to send that back out into touch. Cats should be wise about how they handle time here. Definitely not, probably too early to go down into a corner, but certainly shouldn't be running for soccer balls, as Willie gives another chase to that one and creates a goal kick.
And a substitution for STMA. Back into the game, Marin Brockhoff, number 7. Going off is number 32,
And you see
Anna Eagan.
Marin Brockhoff checking back in.
Goal kick for the Knights.
So the Knights throwing on most of their starting lineup now, pushing for that second equalizer. And a foul against Yin.
Foul on the Wildcats.
Free kick comes in towards Yin. Yin battling there.
34, Ryan Eagan with the free kick for the Knights.
Knights dispossessed that time. This comes up for Triplett. Triplett on the far side. Feeds it forward. Opportunity for Willie. Willie earns the throw. That comes in towards Triplett. Triplett with her back to the goal. Pitched in by Willie, looking for Westerman. And the height and headers of the Knights able to send that out into safety. And now here's an opportunity for the Knights to attack. Ball gets fed down towards Quant. And Chloe Stokes with some good defense on the outside.
Substitution for the Wildcats. Returning is Avery Hendrickson.
And Avery Hendrickson coming in for Chloe Stokes. So Stokes with her last action there, perhaps of the game. We'll see. So Hendrickson and Burke, your center backs. With Severson and Cameron, your outside backs. Now is Burke stepping. She hammers that towards the midfield. Opportunity for Willie. Willie punches it down. Triplett's going to give chase. Wildcats just want to keep this ball in the last handful of minutes on the STMA end of things. You get a sense that STMA really never got on track in this game. They just never looked comfortable. As Yin with a quick step, good job defensively. And a foul there against STMA. Yin earning that free kick. Let's see if she takes it or if someone else takes it. I would imagine Burke's going to come and take that. Center referee saying, hurry up, let's go. Burke has it, sends it towards goal. Opportunity. It's going to bounce. Oh my goodness! A big collision, and they're going to call the foul on Willie as Hartnett and Willie collided. That's just a heavy collision. Fortunately, both players up. Some folks screaming for some sort of card there. I honestly don't know. You certainly want to protect the goalie, but Willie has every right to go for that ball, and neither player really had a chance. Neither player, I should say, got to the ball cleanly. So just a collision between two players. Fortunately, nobody hurt. Wildcat Soccer would like to thank their platinum sponsors, 401k Plan Professionals, Ansari's Mediterranean Grill and Lounge, Eagan Hockey Association, Hy-Vee, Itasca Wealth, the Willie team at Edina Realty with John and Melanie Willie, Neb Doctors, the Realtor team of Pablo and Don Borian, Twin Cities Orthopedics, and Wave Soccer Club. Thank you for being platinum sponsors for boys and girls soccer here in Eagan. Ball gets sent over towards Willie. Willie can't go through a defender. And you have to think that old number 6 for the Knights, Emma Quant, would be the trigger woman here. Getting the ball on her feet is a smart thing to do if you're in a white jersey. Imagine they'll be trying to do that. Play that time by Enning. Enning to the far side. This is Westerman, who's dropped back into kind of a midfield role. Ball's intercepted that time by STMA. Severson comes for that ball. Wood battling there. And she sends that into touch. Gives us a chance to quickly name our gold sponsors: Acme Tools, Carbonis Eagan, Rami Cormont at Coldwell Banker, Cornerstone Chiropractic, the Eagan Football Booster Club, the Ladder Crew, Escape With Us Vacations, Park Dental Eagan, Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers, Salvo Soccer Club, Teresa's Mexican Restaurant, The Proper Culture, and the Urgency Room. This ball comes towards the middle. And it's claimed there by somebody in green, which is what you want to see, is McKenna Willie now dispossessed. Now it's a question of how much you want it. How much does either team have left in the tank, and how much do they want it? Burke with a nice move there, taking that ball away and sending it down. Triplett giving chase. And Triplett will have that ball as we roll into the last 4 minutes of this match. Sammy Wood on the outside with Cameron on this side. Falls for Westerman. Severson pops that up. It's partially deflected. Yin. Ball gets played through. Here's an opportunity for Triplett. Triplett onto it. Right foot, Triplett. Right foot, Triplett, score! And Tess Triplett surely seals the deal for the Wildcats. Took the ball from her teammate. Had a nice first touch. That's really what made that goal, a nice first touch. And put it away. Tess Triplett in the 77th minute extends the lead back to 2 goals. There was an assist on that. We'll get that momentarily from public address announcer Dave Giles. But the Wildcats extending that lead back to 2 goals with this dangerous Saint Michael-Albertville team expected to compete for maybe the state title, certainly for a section championship. Ball finds Edding.
Wildcats goal scored by Stella Triplett. The assist to McKenna Willie, the time 76-24.
McKenna Willie gets her assist. So Triplett from Willie in the 77th minute. And now the girls in white certainly sensing some level of desperation. Have to think that the Wildcats probably have this game sewed up, but it's high school soccer. Weirder things have happened. This ball finds Yin in the middle. Yin able to get to that one. Wood with it, comfortable in possession. Plays back for Severson. Westerman. Westerman. Edding. Severson and Wood on the far side doing a nice job of controlling that ball. Burke comes across for Hendrickson. Hendrickson has it at her feet. Burke didn't want that ball, and now she has to break the press. Wildcats really need to get this ball out of their own end. This comes for Severson. Now for Westerman. Good pressure by the Knights trying to force a turnover. So far, Wildcats haven't succumbed to the pressure, but the ball is definitely on the wrong end into the last 90 seconds of this match. Willie can't get a flick on that time, but at least the ball is temporarily in the middle of the park. Oh, good stuff that time by Enning. Enning has it at her feet. She'll play Willie through. Willie's going to have to hit the Jets and find this ball. She is going to have this ball down the left side. She sends it in towards Triplett, and Hartnett easily claims.
One minute remaining in the second half. 1 minute.
Opportunity for Weissel again quickly off of her line as Radloff was pressuring her. But you can see the quality for Saint Michael-Albertville. You understand, you know that they will be really working hard in practice this week. This is not the result that they came down I-94 for. But credit to the Wildcats. They have done a fantastic job of keeping Emma Quant quiet, except for the aforementioned penalty. She just hasn't seen very much of the ball, and frankly, if I'm an STMA fan, I'd like to see her with the ball more on her feet to allow her to either score or create for her teammates. Wildcats have done a sneaky good job of breaking the defense down, too. The STMA defense has played well today, but the last 2 goals by the Wildcats have been created because the STMA defense has given the Wildcats some space.
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And that will do it. The Saint Michael-Albertville Knights come south on I-94 and are going to go home without any points on this one as they fall by a score of 3-1 to the Wildcats. Wildcat goals by Evie Burke in the 5th minute, Anna Enning in the 65th minute, and Stella Triplett to ice it in the 77th minute. offset by the Emma Quant penalty in the 68th minute. Final score here from Wildcat Stadium is 3-1, and the Wildcats will be back in action on Monday night. We'll be calling that game again here on ETV. I want to thank you for joining us here on ETV. So, for the award-winning ETV crew, myself, Nathan Cron, don't worry, we've got boys high school soccer action as you see the boys out warming up on the field. We'll have boys high school soccer action coming up in about 20 minutes. So stick with us here on ETV. But for now, the girls have completed play for the day, and a final score of 3 for the Wildcats and 1 for the Knights. This is ETV Sports.